Hey guys, I'm Hunter, your host, along with my dog Winterberry right here. We are gonna bust together with you guys 10 snake myths with you guys today in 10 minutes. We're gonna bust 10 snake myths in 10 minutes. You heard that right. So the first snake myth that we're gonna start off with is snakes are slimy. Have you ever touched a snake and it was slimy? Some of you guys are saying, well, I've never touched a snake ever, Hunter. Well, just look at pictures. Do they look slimy? Some people may say yes. Well, they're not. Some snakes may have smooth scales and look slimy. They are not slimy at all. I have touched many snakes, from water snakes to freaking king snakes, and none of them have been slimy. The king snake had smooth scales but was not slimy. So that myth is busted right away because snakes have scales which give them some sort of texture, which is actually, the scales are actually made out of the same substance, which is called keratin. Starts with the C actually. The second myth is snakes are attracted to milk. Snakes are attracted to milk. Snakes are not attracted to milk only because they don't care about the scent unless, say, a prey item is going towards that scent. Then they will follow the prey item exactly to that scent, consume the prey item, and leave it a couple days later after letting the food digest in its belly. The third myth that I'm going to talk to you guys is snakes don't have any bones. Now let me tell you this. If we didn't have any bones, we wouldn't even be able to walk. What do you think snakes would be able to do if they didn't have bones? They wouldn't be able to walk. Well, in this case, slither. So, snakes, therefore, are... They have bones. Can I say that? They have bones. Snakes are not boneless creatures. They have bones, and they will always have bones unless evolution makes something different out of that. Myth number 4. Snakes will follow each other and then avenge a kill on the snake that it was following. This is 100% false because snakes will never even follow each other unless one is following a scent trail to mate with the other, or one is following a scent trail to court with the other, which means like fight for dominance. Some king cobras will actually follow a scent trail to say like a prey item, but nothing really else. That's it, basically. Myth number 5. Triangular-headed snakes are venomous. Although some snakes have triangular heads when they are mad or anything like that, they're not venomous. Even though they have a triangular head, some snakes, like a puff adder, I'll put right here, or a like a cottonmouth, those are highly venomous snakes that could do some damage to you. But yeah, they do have a triangular head and they are venomous. But say like a water snake that you find in your backyard or something puffs up his head, or even like a ribbon snake or something, it puffs up his head, it's still completely harmless, right? So that myth is busted. The next myth that I'm going to talk to you guys about is snake bite venom should be... So if, say you're walking... I'm going to put a little scenario out here for you. You're walking in the forest, and then there's a snake on the ground, and then it bites you. Well, what do? Some people are really dumb, and they would try to suck out the venom. Well, that would only make matters worse in this case, because if you try to suck out the venom, it would make the venom move in one pocket of your, wherever the bite zone was, say, and it'd isolate that venom. And if it was like viper venom, like not neurotoxic, like cytotoxic or hemotoxic, it would isolate that area, probably rot through your flesh and make the bite. So just don't suck the snake venom. That is a myth. Like you've seen it in movies, just don't do it. It doesn't work. No. Next myth. Myth number 5.
Actually, this is myth number 6, not myth number 5. So let's move on to the next myth. Myth number 6.
Baby snakes are more dangerous than adult snakes. Now this is kind of true in some states of life for snakes. Baby snakes can be more dangerous than adult snakes, but I'm going to give you 2 examples right here. One example is with the venomous snake. One example is with a non-venomous snake. Harmless, extremely dangerous. If you run into a non-venomous ribbon snake in the wild, a non-venomous, completely harmless snake, he can't do anything to you except maybe bite you, but this one would be a baby, right? Well, it couldn't do anything to you. But if there was an adult ribbon snake, it still couldn't do anything to you because it's an adult, but it's still non-venomous. Now let's give you the second scenario, a venomous snake. You find a baby, I don't know, a puff adder out in Africa, right? You get bit by the baby puff adder. Now that is extremely painful, but it may inject more amount of venom than it needs inside of you than, say, an adult puff adder would, because the baby puff adder doesn't know how much venom it needs to put inside of you to do significant damage, but the adult puff adder does because it has been an adult for a long time and has experienced the correct venom yields that it should put inside of you. So that's the myth. Babies are more dangerous than adults is busted. Myth number 7, I believe. I'll put a number on the screen if I'm wrong. If you see a baby snake, it is way more dangerous than the adult. Wait a minute. If you see a baby snake, its mother is nearby. Now, sometimes this could be true, sometimes it can't. Okay? I'm going to give you 2 examples again. One example is that a baby snake hatched, and let's say, like, it's crossing the road. Say, like, the baby snake is crossing the road, and there's no mother nearby. It could be miles away, right? Well, in that case, it's false. But in this case, it's true, because, say, a mother ribbon snake is crossing the road, and then you go to the other side of the road, the opposite side of where the ribbon snake was crossing, and you flip a log, and then there's a whole bunch of baby snakes underneath that, which are the same species of the ribbon snake, which could be the exact same. That snake could be the mother of the baby snake. In that case, that's true, because it literally says right here, if you see a baby, its mother is nearby. Well, in that case, it would be true, because the mother had just been done giving live birth. So, that's true. Stay towards the end, because I'm actually going to throw in another myth that I've never heard of before anybody say, not even on the internet or tube. So I'm going to throw that in. Stay tuned to the end, because this isn't going to be 10 myths, 10 snake myths busted. It's going to be 11 myths. I'm going to put in another, okay? Myth number 9, or 10. I'll put the number on the screen. Snakes are deaf. Snakes are not deaf. It has been proven by scientists that snakes, although they can't hear and have visible ears, say like this dog has visible ears, it can hear me perfectly, right? If I say its name, it'll look at me. Watch. Windy bear. See? It heard me, right? But if you say a snake's name, it's not gonna listen to you, but they can hear another thing that humans can't hear, but they can feel. So basically they can feel, but they still can't hear really. They can feel vibrations, even the slightest vibration. See if their prey is nearby, snatch it up, and eat it. Or they could feel vibrations, say like you're in Africa and there's a puff adder, and there's a huge 5-ton elephant next to it. You can feel the vibrations, stay more camouflaged, and hopefully it doesn't get smushed, right? Well, in that case, it's true. So, yeah. That's that myth. And myth number 10. Snakes are aggressive. Snakes are not aggressive. Snakes will defend themselves for their life to protect themselves for their life so they don't get killed, okay? Snakes will also be cage defensive. Say if you own a captive snake, that snake might try to bite you and stuff, but it's probably cage defensive because it's like if somebody is barging in your home. That's what we're doing when we're cleaning their cages. So, kind of have to think of it that way. So, yeah. And the 11th myth that I said I'm going to put in, I'm going to talk to you guys about that right now, okay? So, the 11th myth that I'm going to put in is... The 11th myth that I'm going to put in right now is that snakes with... Oh. The 11th myth is number 11 right here. Is that if a snake has a round pupil, it's non-venomous, and if a snake has a vertical pupil, it's venomous. Let's talk about that. If a snake has a vertical pupil, it could be venomous or non-venomous, okay? think of this. You can have a boa constrictor, which has a vertical pupil, which is completely harmless. Some people say. If you get bit by a boa, it's gonna hurt, obviously, but no venom apparatus, doesn't hurt, doesn't infect you or anything. But say if you have a freaking highly venomous, I don't know, any viper in the world, that, like a puff adder, that has a vertical pupil, and that's highly venomous. It could probably kill you if it bit you through the venom apparatus. Now, say if a snake, you find a garter snake in your backyard, vertical pupil, harmless snakes. They can't even do anything to you. The least they can do is bite on you with their mouth and maybe inflict a tiny painful bite, but it's not gonna do anything. I've been bitten by garter snakes and racers before. It doesn't hurt. But if you find a venomous snake, say you find a black mamba out in the wild, that's a highly venomous snake. But look, it has a round pupil, right? So, what does that say? This myth is busted. Speaking of busted, I'm busting through the doors of saying this video is over. You want to do the outro? Okay. All you have to do is put your shoe. You yawned. Yes, you did. Really, truck?